Welcome, and we are back again to another incredible day today. We are. I know I'm mumbling. I don't know why I'm mumbling. I'm so nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous with today. Like this today is a big day, right? There's going to be like I'm really. Some of you, I wish you can see me, but I'm holding a very important. That's what I'm calling it. A very important document. This is from, I'm not going to tell you, but we're going to have an introduction here in a second. But I'm reading this workshop, and this is years of research, by the way. And I am so nervous, not in a bad way, but it just everything that's going on, where we are today and where we were yesterday and where we're going in America. So I think this is going to be very, very educational, right? For all of us, even myself included. So, ladies, how are you?
Good.
How are we doing?
We're awesome.
You guys look spectacacular.
Thank you.
How do you do it? You just get up in the morning and just look fabs. Like, how do you do it?
By the grace of God.
Because I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all look amazing. It's like every morning. Like I'm over here just rushing and I probably smell like the day after tomorrow.
Stop it.
And then you guys are all just ready and looking beautiful. All right. So Rashia, for today, what do we got going on for today?
So today we have Dr. Ronald J. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Farabaugh.
Close enough.
He's been practicing in the chiropractic industry for about 40 years, a little over 40 years.
Yeah.
He's published about 15 papers about certain things that has to do with health and wellness, chiropractic needs, and he's a proud grandfather. And he can't wait to go see his
Mazel.
He showed us a picture.
He's so cute.
Mazel. That's beautiful. How are you, Doc?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Wow, we're excited to have you. We're really excited to have you. I was just looking at, as you were sharing, we were just having a conversation before we got live here, and I'm looking at today's workshop because you mentioned we're going to be we are discussing cleansing and weight loss workshop for today, right? So how long of the research this kind of like took you, this workshop?
Well, this particular PowerPoint that I gave you guys this morning, I started on 20 years ago.
Wow.
We've been teaching this lecture for 20 years.
That's incredible.
And we're constantly updating it with new information. And
wow.
And it's never been as important as it is right now.
Oh, man, you heard that, listeners. I really wanted to focus this conversation on you specifically and all of you've accomplished.
Yes.
But as you've mentioned, you say this is far more important than myself, and we appreciate that. But I really want you to come back. So I really want to celebrate you because we always said it's about celebrating people, but somehow today you did not want to do that because you'd say this is very important in the points that where we are today in America.
Right.
So take us away, Doc.
Well, there's many different ways we can go, but I want to start with the research paper that I brought. We did me and my team, we did a systematic review on the cost effectiveness of chiropractic care versus medical care for adults with musculoskeletal spine pain. Ooh. And that paper took us almost 2 years to write because we did a literature search that started with 2,247 references.
Wow.
You know how long it takes to dig through 2,200 papers?
Yeah, that's a lot.
A lot.
So it was a big task, and we called that down to 44 of the most relevant, high quality papers that we could. Okay. And I'll just really briefly summarize the findings of that paper because what it showed is, and it kind of ties into our main topic, which is health and wellness in this country. Yeah. But what it found was conservative practitioners. Essentially, when patients go to a chiropractor, this paper specifically was about chiropractic versus medical. When patients go to a chiropractor, costs in the system go way down.
Gotcha.
And what happens is when you go to a chiropractor, think about if you have back pain, for example.
Right.
You got two routes you can go. You can go the medical route over here or the chiropractic route, right? And there's lots of choices for back pain. But those are the kind of primary things. Okay. And what the paper shows is when you choose a chiropractor, downstream services are reduced. Now, what are downstream services?
Right.
Downstream services are things like ER visits, hospitalizations, surgeries, advanced diagnostics, invasive injections, opioids, other drugs, referrals to specialists. When you go to a chiropractor, all of those things are reduced.
Gotcha.
Along with their corresponding costs.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So if you want to lower and this is a message to every employer out there. I hope you're listening. I hope you take this serious.
Yeah.
If you're an employer, the gist of the paper was our recommendations were employers really need to reconsider, insurance companies need to reconsider access to conservative care practitioners, chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists.
I agree.
People like that, because if you're a patient and you go this medical route, and this isn't a MD bashing lecture by any means. I'm just saying if you go that route, costs go way up because of those downstream services. When you go the conservative route, all those costs go down. So, and the second thing this paper found was, and the sooner you get to a conservative care practitioner, the more dramatic the savings.
Wow.
So not only is going to a chiropractor going to save you money, but the faster you go. So a lot of times, and the reason that's important is up until relatively recently, a lot of patients were choosing a chiropractor last. They would try everything else. The chiropractor was the last resort. And they'd go to a chiropractor and get dramatic results literally from the first visit. And I happen to manage a chronic pain program for the company I work with also. And it shows it's not just chiropractic. You go to a chiropractor, massage therapist, acupuncturist, you're basically taking patients out of high-cost, high-tech medical world, and you're putting them in low-tech, low-cost conservative care world.
Wow.
But guess what?
Gosh.
When you choose that route, what are the odds of getting an opioid if you go this route?
Exactly.
0. What are the odds of getting an opioid if you go that route? We have an opioid crisis in this country, and the epicenter of that is Ohio and West Virginia, for goodness sakes.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
those small rural areas,
Yeah.
it's really
Let me
bad.
write this down.
It's-
That's nuts.
it's huge. So the bottom line is we have to rethink access to conservative care practitioners. So if you're an insurance company,
Yeah.
you need lower copays, lower deductibles, get rid of pre-authorization, no more medical gatekeepers. All that should disappear. And if you're an employer out there, please listen to what I'm saying. It's not the insurance company that drives the copays and deductible. It's you. You're the ones paying these bills. You're the one paying these premiums. So if you understand this research, powered by 2,200 other papers, called down to 44 of the most relevant,
Yep.
the message is crystal clear.
Yeah.
Anything you do plan-wise that prevents patients from choosing a conservative care practitioner up front costs you money,
More money.
a lot of money.
This is.
And so if you want to lower cost, you've got to consider easy access to conservative care practitioners. Then that dovetail into our main topic of health and wellness. We have absolutely got to change our mindset when it comes to health and wellness in this country, because the reality is, I mean, when I started doing this presentation in 2000, the year 2000 is 23 years ago now. The research back then, it's an interesting graph. I don't know if you can show it somehow when you edit this, but
Yes.
our country went from being pretty healthy, relatively healthy. Now, life expectancy wasn't that long because people died of infections and injuries, way back in the 1700s, 1800s, right? 1900s. And with the advent of more technology in medicine, people are living longer.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're healthier.
They're healthier, right.
Life is supposed to be like a smooth burning candle that flickers once or twice and goes out. You were not supposed to spend the last 20 years of your life taking 20 different drugs on an oxygen tank in a wheelchair, right?
I know.
And
That's my own dad right there.
I
Literally.
I was at a restaurant last night, and we were talking about this very topic. We're talking about this podcast, and one person we were sitting with says, "Look around this room right now. Look around the restaurant." Sure enough, 50% of this restaurant had an abdomen sticking out so far it looked painful.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to think differently. So we went from being relatively healthy to the graphs year by year are fascinating. In a short period of time, we went from no red. I don't know if I can get my hands on it real quick. We went from no red to 100% of our states now.
That's nuts.
100% of our states. More than 35% of the population is obese now in 100% of our states.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that again, please?
100% of our states, 35% of the population in that state
35%
is obese by definition.
That's a lot.
Right. Now, that used to be a lot. That's what I said in the year 2000. Now, if you look at it state by state with the information I gave you, it's not 35%, it's 40%, 48%. It's unbelievable what some of these states are. And Ohio is horrible. Ohio's like 39% of our population is obese.
Do better, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. So this whole lecture is really about being empowered, taking control over your own destiny and health. Because if you're waiting for pain, if you're waiting to have a disease, you're making a monumental mistake. You should be living your best life now. You know, health is defined as not merely the absence of pain, but it's your ability to fully express, having the greatest expression of your mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. It's not merely the absence of disease and infirmity, right?
Yes.
It's being able to engage in activities of daily living. It's being able to hold your grandchild, bend over to get on the floor and play with your grandchild. It's being able to golf, walk, hike, eat. It's being able to have energy, right? And right now, with almost 50% of our population being obese, they get up in the morning after not sleeping well, and they're fatigued after getting sleep. That's if they slept all night, right? And then they start the morning. It's such a radical, confusing thing for people. This is one of my messages: is you have to learn more.
Yeah.
An informed consumer, an educated consumer, is going to wind up being a healthier consumer, right? The problem that we have right now, and you see it at the gym, Giselle. I mean, I know people, very close people to me, people that I know and love, they're just killing it in the weight loss industry, right? But think of this. One guy's model is you got to do 6 fuelings a day, beginning as soon as you wake up. This guy's model is, you got to do intermittent fasting and this tea that I'm drinking right here.
Exactly.
Right? I happen to like that intermittent fasting model. And then we have a girl to Jim that we both know whose model is high protein. And when I kind of went with her program for a while, I couldn't even eat the amount of food that she was recommending, and I still lost weight because it's high protein. So if you're an average consumer out there, all right, is intermittent fasting what I should do? Do I eat in the morning? Do I not eat in the morning? Do I eat high protein? I discovered after looking at so many different diet plans, there are 3 commonalities. You know what they are? Number 1, I don't care what program you're doing, you're consuming less calories.
Yes.
And I know people say, it's calories in, calories out doesn't make any difference. I'm like, well, it kind of does and kind of doesn't. And I'll give you a good example. It doesn't in this way. If I had 100 calories of almonds in this hand and 100 calories of a Snickers bar in this hand, they're both 100 calories.
Right.
One's going to make me lose weight. One's going to make me gain weight. If it's all about calories, how do you explain that?
So true.
Right? It's all about controlling that sugar spike. That insulin spike.
The insulin spike, yep.
And you have to get control of that. So it just kind of makes sense to me. You've got to control that. But anyway, no matter what diet program you happen to go on, you're consuming less calories. We eat way too much in this country. We supersize everything.
Too much.
Connie and I
We
can't
overeat.
even. My wife and I.
And we waste a lot.
Yes.
Almost every time in recent years this has happened is, I guess naturally as we got older, we don't even order 2 meals anymore. We order 1 meal and split it.
That's literally me.
And we're still.
I order from the kids' meal sometimes. I know I'm not going to eat it all.
And we're still half the time taking home a doggy bag, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's portion control. The Koreans call it hari hachibu. 80%. When you get 80% full, quit eating.
That's it.
Right? And so portion control. So that's number 1. Number 2 is high protein.
High protein.
You've got to get more protein in your diet.
Yes.
And do you realize the greatest predictor of the longevity of your life is percent muscle mass? So if you're,
I'm writing this down because
if
I
you're
feel like a kid oh my God.
if you're taking, you should be ingesting some amino acids, precursor for protein, and high protein, right? And the third commonality, cutting carbs. I don't care what diet
Those
program you're
carbs.
talking
Get
about,
rid of the
you're cutting
carbs.
carbs. So, and then I guess the fourth thing would simply be you just got to make better food choices.
Yes.
And that's where this presentation's heading is
Yes.
our country is in so much trouble. And because we are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And I don't really care where people are at with this Robert Kennedy confirmation.
Yeah.
It's just so divisive. I mean, on this end, people's head are absolutely exploding in disgust with him being confirmed. On this end of the spectrum, they look at him like the second coming of Christ. and then there's those of us in the middle that are saying, so he's addicted to heroin for a while. So was I. So what?
It's okay.
That was 20 years ago. Who cares, right? Forget the person for a second.
Absolutely.
Just forget that person.
Yeah.
What are the issues that we have to face?
Mm-hmm.
And the issues that we have to face in this country are our food sources
Yeah.
and the amount of drugs we take, the way that we approach health care.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you realize the United States is only 5% of the world's population, but we consume over 40% of the world's drugs?
Wow.
Yet despite that, we are way down on the list of health of our nation.
Oh, yeah.
There are
It's true.
There are
Yeah.
like 39 other countries ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to get that because I've spent a lot of time in Europe because of traveling through my dad. And like when you go, like for example, not to cut you off because I really want to go back to this. Like when you go, we'll talk about France, for example. In France, people smoke, drink, and everything, but they're so petite.
Yeah.
But it's because of what they consume and how the amount of food that they're consuming. How, like, I was
That
telling
portion
people, when you go to, like, Paris, I was saying, when you go to Paris, like Paris McDonald's, the hamburgers are so tiny. They're not like here, it's so massive. And it's like, that's too much. Like, that's way too much. It's even for me. There are people that will literally stop you and tell you, you can't do that. That's a lot. Why are you consuming what you cannot, like, it's just too much. So I'm like, how are they doing it? And it's almost legal in America. That's the question I was, how is this legal in America, Doc?
Well,
I know I don't want to get controversial,
How
Well,
political
I'm
do
not
we want to get?
Yeah.
but it's a really bold, serious question. We need to start asking.
yeah,
You know,
it's actually not even political. It's just we are a capitalistic society in this country, right? However, the excesses of capitalism are totally messing us up. And
it's true.
the income divide is just embarrassing,
Yes.
a national embarrassment. But not excluding that, the fact of the matter is, it's all you got to do is chase the money. Where's the money, right?
Yeah.
And when the tobacco industry kind of got collared a little bit, right? And you can't advertise, and so. These, they partnered at one point with people, the chemists, basically putting chemicals in nicotine products to get people addicted, right? Well, when cigarette consumption went significantly down, it's not down near enough, but it went significantly down. Those people still had to sell their chemicals. So, what did they do? Focus on the food industry.
Yep.
So what has occurred here is there are more chemicals in our food sources. We are being poisoned to death. And so you now have to be, as an educated consumer, you have to be intentional with your approach to diet. And so my whole lecture is turning into a demystifying diet because people are just making it too complicated.
Yes.
It's not too complicated. If it didn't grow out of the ground or running down a river stream, it's not natural,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not saying you can't have an occasional donut,
right, right.
Remember, it's not what you eat between Christmas and New Year's that matters. It's what you eat between New Year's and Christmas,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if you get in the habit of eating crappy day in and day out and you're not exercising,
They have it.
that's exactly it. It's the habit. It's just,
Repeating the same.
but if you can just do it for 21 straight days,
That's
and
it.
according to every research paper I've ever read on this topic, you form a habit. And it's interesting enough. It's just like church. After COVID, all these churches, their attendance has gone way down. And I was having a discussion with our head pastor one day about that, and he said, "You know what it was? We did a survey. You know what it was? It wasn't that people didn't like the message or people were afraid of the weather or people whatever. because of COVID and people being sheltered in place at home, people literally got out of the habit of going to church.
Yep.
And that's why their attendance has been so far down.
Yeah.
And it's been a really difficult thing getting that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but with diet, it's just all about habit. I mean,
Yeah.
if you just get into the habit of eating right, and you make one day turn into 2 days, turn into 3 days. A lot of people that I work with, unfortunately, in my own practice, I had to get out of practice because you're looking at a guy who was practicing for 40 years.
Wow.
But it wound up causing me to have 6 joint replacements. My 6th one was just 2 months ago to this right shoulder.
Oh, wow.
And so I physically couldn't do it. So I'm getting back into practice, but it's through health and wellness and helping people lose weight
Nice.
and helping them just refocus their life
Yeah.
on health and wellness. And it's just such an interesting journey because a lot of people, when they start cutting carbs, they start to have that carb flu, right? They feel lousy. I'm like, just get through the first week. I promise you, just get through the first week. And if you do that, and all of a sudden you start to develop this habit, I'm not saying you can't have a carbohydrate. It's just that you got to eat intentional, which means salad with every lunch and dinner, followed by eating your protein first, eating your vegetables second, eating, if you're going to have a protein or a carb, eat that last. And just doing that little transition, because I'm from Pennsylvania, right? Grew up in the hills. Oh, we mashed it all together and ate it like a stew. And it didn't matter what it was, right? But, so if you just get more intentional, salad, protein, veggies, carb, and you'll start to lose weight. And especially when you realize by the time you're done eating that way, you're not really hungry for the carb as much. So
You hit that 80%.
eat less and less and less carbs. And if you just start to just infuse your body with more protein.
More protein.
And I bet, again, if you're a consumer, it's like, okay, do I do more protein? Is that good? Or is vegetarian diet good? Should I be vegan? Here's what it comes down to. What is going to make you feel better?
Yes.
It's individual, and every individual is different. And you can read books like, your body, your blood type for your body, and you can read all kind of books. One of my favorite was, the name escaping me. It was Body for Life by Bill Phillips. And it was just a great book. I was in the best shape of my life when I followed his plan. And his plan was just eating very clean. But when you exercise, he was in and out of there in 20 minutes because he did the stair step exercise, basically a high intensity exercise program. So if you mix really good intentional diet
You stay consistent.
and then you work out,
Stay disciplined and work out.
you've got to get to the gym. If the gym's not your thing, two pieces of advice. After every single meal, don't go to the couch. Get outside, put your shoes on, go for a walk for 15 minutes. That's number one. Number two, every day, get yourself an Apple Watch. Get those 10,000 steps in.
Yeah.
Every day, you should be doing something. Want to take a day or two off here and there? That's fine. But
Stay active.
it's stay active because it's so easy to break that habit. Next thing you know, you're just not doing what it takes to stay healthy.
One thing too, I just kind of mentioned too. It's a sort of a question, but I think what's for me, it's you're saying where we are right now and where we're going in America. You say we've got to change.
Right.
It's almost like a warning. You're seeing us where we're heading. It's becoming too dangerous for Americans. Yeah. You literally just say back in 2000. This is 20 plus years of research you've conducted, and even as I look at your document, it says U.S. Today back in May 8th, 2012. It literally say obese rate may hit 42% by 2030. That's a lot.
That's 5 years from now.
And that's 5 years from now.
And we're already there.
And we're already here.
In most states, we're already there.
And it's nuts to me.
Yeah.
It's like you're foreseeing it.
Yeah.
And then you're warning us, but why are we not paying attention? What is it that we need to do? Doc, I'm so scared of this right now. I'm so nervous.
Yeah, people need to have a wake up. I don't know why people have to have a serious illness or injury before they start
making those changes.
Making a change, right? You have cancer and you go, okay, I'm going to start eating right. Why would I wait for cancer to start
To start eating right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Prevention, people.
And I love that. Well, it just starts with education. People are just confused.
Yeah.
And on top of that, their stress level's never been so high.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
now
Yes. Oh, my
it
gosh.
used to be you could have a family. One of those people could be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
The other person could be home taking care of the kids, taking care of the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting old-fashioned on this or anything. I'm just
Right, right,
saying.
yeah. No, it's
today-
true.
Today,
Balance.
it
Yeah.
takes two parents' incomes
Yeah.
to run a house, and the AI is a great thing.
Yeah.
It's,
Ugh.
it's also
Oof.
evil.
Oh.
And just try getting a job now.
Oh, man.
I mean, AI is just sifting through all
it's
these.
really destroying so many talents.
And it's
Yeah.
it's even ruining people's livelihoods,
Yeah,
right?
it's so
You
true.
know? So what's happening is people are stressed. They're working longer than they've ever worked. This is why European countries so far ahead of us,
Yes.
right? Over there,
Oh,
they got
thank God.
3 months of vacation or whatever it is, right?
Take a nap after.
We,
the
Yeah.
we had our kids. Giselle here knows my daughter Ashton, and we had Ashton, and I think Friday I was back to work Monday. How stupid is that,
Yeah.
right?
It's nuts.
And we just are so stressed in this country,
Yes.
and I think people just need to take a breather,
Yeah.
take a deep breath, look at their life, and say, all right, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is all I get.
Yes.
So what do I have to do to live my best life?
Yes.
To be happy.
Yeah.
And if your health isn't literally either number one or number two, you got to
That's
reevaluate.
priorities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're not healthy, there's nothing in life you can enjoy.
Absolutely
There's just almost
not.
nothing, right? So get yourself educated. Start making baby steps. You don't have to make a dramatic turnaround. Just
Yeah.
tomorrow, put some tennis shoes on. Start to go for a walk,
Well,
right? Instead of going to the donut shop, maybe you just don't. Maybe drink some tea in the morning,
Yeah.
Morning.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe you just have to start making baby steps and transform your life.
Slowly.
So, and then you go to the grocery store. Isn't it ridiculous? I saw it on
Don't go
social
when you're
media, right?
Don't not go to the grocery store when you're hungry. It's the biggest mistake you can ever make.
I know that's a big mistake.
You're gonna buy
everything. Well, and then you got a perimeter shop. I just love that.
Oh,
I
my
just love that
gosh, yeah.
statement. If they have a health food section in the grocery store, then exactly what is the rest of the store?
What is that?
it's the junk
mean,
food section.
Yeah,
The
so
bad section.
you just got to learn how to perimeter shop.
Yes.
Groceries, meats, dairy, out.
Yep.
Right. No
if
cookies.
if what you if what you're bringing home can last the next 6.5 years,
Yeah.
probably it's not the healthiest food for
Yep.
you, right?
Yeah.
So go get in the habit of going shopping 3-4 times a week for what you need. So it's because you're going to be getting fresh, healthy stuff, and when you reach for a snack, reach for some hummus and veggies and
Protein.
good stuff, protein. Don't boil some eggs every week and have those as a snack when you get hungry. You don't have to reach for potato
The
chips
chips,
and
Cookies.
Doritos, and I'm
brownies.
not knocking any food group. But I'm
No,
just
we're
saying-
not.
I'm naming all the stuff that I grab.
But I want you to just think of this. I mean, what are the top causes of death in this country?
Oh,
yeah.
Now, let
that's
me.
what I was. You read my mind.
Yeah.
I just got that out because I
this
want to
is-
hear
this
about
is
it.
This is a sick list, and this hasn't changed in 20 years, by
That's
the way.
Wow.
nuts.
The only thing that's changed on this list is they put COVID deaths as number 3.
Wow.
Well, that's not a problem anymore, like
Right.
it used to be,
Right.
right? So removing COVID out of there,
Yeah.
guess what the top 10 diseases are? Heart disease and cancer, number 1 and 2.
That's nuts.
Guess what the number 3 is? Accidents. And in that, that's kind of a nice, kind
Like
way to
medical
say
accidents or like accident.
medical. That's a nice way to kind of bury in there.
And I'm gonna say
Medical-
how it is. I'm gonna. I know you can't, Doc.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say like it is. There is a lot of. I don't want to say intentional in a way, but people are dying in hospitals.
Yeah.
Because no one has figured it out or just don't want to do anything, and it's not fair. And I'm going to say it like it is. I'm sorry for saying it.
Well, the reality is, if you look at a study done at Johns Hopkins, reported in British Medical Journal, American Journal of American Medical Association, 250,000 deaths a year because of medical errors, bot surgeries,
nuts.
hospital-acquired infections,
Oh, wow.
drug errors. Now get this, 100,000
That's a lot.
100,000 people here in this country die of drug interactions that were non-error, which means,
That is-
which
oh.
means they gave the drug correctly, it just killed the patient.
Wow.
Do you realize that non-steroidal anti-inflammatories alone kill 16,500 people a year in this
You
country.
know what? I can't. This is
We're talking Advil, right? We're talking non-steroidal anti-inflammatories.
that's nuts.
Because of how it damages your kidneys. Tylenol,
Yeah.
you know what the leading cause of liver damage is?
Yeah.
Tylenol.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go home and throw out all my Advil and Tylenol.
Well, I'm not saying you got to throw any of it out. There's a time and
I don't
place
take it
for
anyway.
everything.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
time. There's time. And again, I'm not knocking MDs. I mean, my brother is an MD,
right.
and if I wind up, he's an emergency room doc. If I wind
These
up-
are just facts. I mean, honestly,
I'm not-
you know, yeah,
just-
we're not hurting anybody's pocket. They're just real facts.
I didn't report it. They did. So
And this
So-
is a legit research, by the way. It's not like you just
Yeah.
came here with your own thoughts. No, this is
Right.
20 plus years
Yeah.
of research letting America know, hey, if you don't get your together, this is what's going to happen. And these are our factual
right.
freaking leading causes of disease in America. And again,
Right.
I'm getting angry because, Doc, I spend time. Damn it. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. What is wrong with us? This is exhausting.
Yeah.
You have somebody that's literally telling you, hey, get your ish together. This is why you need to get your ish together. If you don't, you're going to die. And you're going to die alone because you didn't listen. And then you're going to be obese because you thought eating that cookie every morning or at 12 a.m. was okay for you because you think, oh, yeah, my heart, I got a beautiful heart, I'll be okay. And then you get the heart disease and you ask yourself, why? Because I was healthy. Well, we know why, and that happened. I'm sorry, Dr. I'm so aggravated.
You're totally right.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I wish more people
Oh,
would get
just don't
aggravated.
get it. Dang it.
I mean, so let me go on with this list: heart disease, cancer,
It's nuts.
stroke,
Oh, my gosh.
chronic lower respiratory diseases, Alzheimer's, diabetes, chronic liver disease, kidney disease. Now, here, what do you notice about that list?
I think the majority of the things that you have mentioned, they all relate to the way you eat
That's right.
and the way you stay active or not.
The majority of that list is based on lifestyle.
I literally just lost a family member
Yeah,
to a heart attack.
yeah.
Wow.
And he was in his 40s. And again, as soon as you're saying that, and I don't want to get all like more blah, 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 but as soon as you say that, I realize it could have just been based on what he was eating
Yeah.
and not paying attention because we've been asking ourselves, I mean, the guy is healthy, but what is it? And again, here we go. Food.
Well, it's just our lifestyle. It's what we consume,
That's nuts.
how much we exercise. Again, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. And you can't ignore the spiritual side either,
Yes.
right? And too many of us are not paying attention to that side of our life.
Yes.
And so if you just get it in balance a little bit, your health will improve and your ability to live a long, healthy life. Again, life's meant to be like a smooth burning candle that flickers once or twice and goes out. You're not supposed to spend the last 2 decades ingesting 10 to 20 different drugs, symptom drugs, symptom
Yeah.
drugs, symptom
Yeah.
drugs. And again, I'm not knocking the medical.
No, we're not.
Because they're in a weird place. Because here,
They're in a very weird place.
you know why? I mean, again, think of my brother. He's an
Yeah,
emergency room doc, right?
yeah.
He gets people every day in his emergency room that are there because they didn't take care of themselves for the last 30 years. And what's he going to tell them? To go out and start running?
No.
No.
No. So he's got to give them something
Something,
to
yes.
relieve the symptom.
Yep.
However, if you're going through life and all you're doing is symptom drug, symptom drug, symptom drug, symptom drug, without getting the cause of why you had the symptom,
Right.
that's why there's this just huge explosion of medical functional MDs out there. Functional medicine MDs. What? And everyone I talked to, I said, why'd you become a functional medicine MD? Well, and their stories are almost always the same. Well, I just woke up one day and thought, I'm not helping anybody. I'm just shifting. I'm playing whack-a-mole with drugs. I'm just chasing the symptoms all over the place instead of actually getting the cause of why they have the symptoms.
Right.
So if you're going to a functional medicine chiropractor or a functional medicine MD, you're going to start with some lab work. They're going to try to understand your physiology. They're going to look at your diet. They're going to look at your exercise. And they're going to start putting you on a path to regain your health, not just getting rid of the symptom. When you get rid of when you actually address your health issues, the symptoms will naturally go away.
Way.
Yes.
Yep.
But if you're artificially getting rid of the symptoms and letting the pathology just blossom, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be devastating sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yep.
None of us are going to get out of this world alive, right? But I want to be active up until the last day,
100%.
Absolutely.
right? So it's just
so
you
true.
just have to keep that in mind. I mean, because when you look at the economic impact, for example, of just obesity, obesity. When I first did this presentation, obesity was costing about $170 billion a year in this country.
It's a lot.
23 years later, $190 billion.
That's a lot.
That's the economic impact of our country not taking care of
That's a
itself.
lot.
So we have to start, I don't know, maybe you have to guilt shame yourself by looking in the mirror and saying, okay, what happened?
Yeah. It's not personal. It's the
Right?
truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
It's like, because I look at this graph.
Yeah.
Right?
That's nuts.
100% of our population is more than 35% obese. It's just unbelievable when you
So
think about
obese,
it.
I'm going to say it means fat. I'm just going to, again, this is not a laughing matter. I'm so sorry. I have to say it so I can wake you up. It means pretty much all 50 states, we all fat in America. That's what it means. So what Doc is saying, maybe you need to start looking at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why am I fat? Well, you need to start figuring out why you're fat. I'm not going to use the world. I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm sorry. If you're going to hate me, you can hate me, but it's just the truth. You know, Doc is only here to let us know about his research and why we're fat in America, because that was part of this research. Why are we so fat in America?
Right.
And what do we need to do to get better? Because it seems like we've already reached, we're not even 2030. We have 5 years and we already passed the percentage that you predicted. And that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, here's the stark reality of it. And that is, you know, when you look at the wheel of health, right? It's supposed to be a balance.
Exactly.
Mental, physical, spiritual well-being. You're supposed to be stretching, considering your diet, reducing your stress, you know, making sure your ergonomic factors aren't putting you at risk. Activities of daily living, right? That should be your wheel of health. Here's the 2023 wheel of health. Ready for this? Here's the wheel of health that most people are engaging in.
I don't even want to.
McDonald's, watch too much TV, they're disorganized, they have lots of stress, they're drinking too much pops and sweets. And I'll tell you what, how many people are out there drinking, well, but I drink Diet Coke. Do you realize they've done studies where they've fed people, like, I can't remember the ounces, it might be 32 ounces of water a day versus 32 ounces of Coke versus 32 ounces of Diet Coke. You know what the result of that was? The people that drank water lost weight in this
water,
time
man. H2O.
period.
Right.
The people that drank Coke gained weight. What do you think happened to the people that drank Diet
I
Coke?
don't want to know.
Nothing happened.
No.
Nope.
They gained
Probably
the same
bigger.
weight as the people that drank Coke.
That's why I'm like, I didn't want to, because I already knew.
Because it fakes your body out and gives you this artificial insulin spike.
Yeah. And actually, Diet Coke is worse than actual Coke.
Yeah. Well,
And people don't know that.
it just depends, you know, what disease do you want? Do you want
Gotcha.
diabetes or cancer? I mean,
Choose carefully.
either
Which
way,
one? A or B?
either way, you're not going to get skinny drinking Diet Coke.
Nope.
So here's another fascinating thing as I was preparing for my lectures. I mean, do you realize how much sugar is
On those
in
pops.
certain
Oof.
drinks? And I got a schematic for you.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
we're not going to
But-
say
Saw
names
that.
again. We're
Yeah.
not going to say names.
Yeah.
Because and then
So-
I know how you guys feel, but I looked at the pictures and I already knew exactly which company those are.
Yeah.
But we're not here to advertise those company. But I saw the picture and I say, of course.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah. And
That's disturbing.
And here's like the look at sugar.
Wow.
If you want to really consider something,
Yeah. That's nuts.
within 10 minutes of drinking a soda,
Mm-hmm.
literally 100% of your daily sugar intake hits your system. One can of pop, right?
A typical soda, 10 teaspoons of sugar?
yeah.
Doc, please tell me that's a joke.
No, it's not a joke at all. When I do this in my live lectures, it's mind blowing when you see how much sugar is in a can of Coke.
That's a
I'm like,
lot.
would you literally drink that? If I just took that sugar, would you actually?
10 spoon. I mean, imagine 10 teaspoons of sugar.
And you, yeah.
crazy.
And then with water. And then just you go.
Well, within 20 minutes of drinking that, your blood sugar spikes and your
Yep.
insulin levels skyrocket.
Yes.
Your liver converts available sugar to fat. That's just within 20 minutes. Within 40 minutes, caffeine's absorbed. Your pupils dilate. Your blood pressure rises. You get more sugar enters your bloodstream. I mean, and it just goes on with that. Within 90 minutes, all of a sudden, then you have this sugar crash, and then think, "Oh, I'm so tired. I need another Diet Coke. I need another
you go again.
Coke." Right?
Then you keep repeating the same.
The same cycle.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And the sad truth is, it's bad for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's even worse for the poor in our country.
Yes.
Way worse. Because I was listening to Lawrence Funderburk. I'm sure you know who he is. And he said something that just hit me. He says, the economic lane you start your life in is likely going to be the economic lane you stay in your whole life. And that is so difficult for people that are poor. I don't care if you come from, inner city Columbus or the backwoods of Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't change something drastically and get help changing, so we have to help those people because the children of that economic class are more prone to these issues. And it's
we're continuing the same cycle.
Yeah, it's just sad.
Yep.
So
and that's just
so we got two options. One is what we call PAPI, PAPPI. You know what PAPI is? It's predator activity promotion through predator introduction. In other words, we can put a bunch of bears out there, and then you have to run away from them, and you might lose weight that way, but that's not likely, right?
Right.
So that's kind of a joke.
It's a joke, people. Please, it's a joke.
So that's not really an option. But the
Yeah.
other option is you just have to be intentional about your diet.
And what is that? I'm so sorry, Doc. What is PAPI? So I saw you wrote physical activity promotion through, and then predator introduction.
In other words, you're running from bears.
Got it. I love that. I love that. I love that.
But that's not likely realistic. So
No,
we have to just be a little bit more intentional and consider your sedentary lifestyle. You've got to consider your food systems and your food sources. And we all should be pushing back, as Robert Kennedy is going to be pushing back against the food industry.
Yes.
Why are we dumping a bazillion chemicals in our foods that are illegal in Europe?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes zero sense.
No sense.
And we have to get money out of politics somehow, some way. I don't know if it's ever going to happen in my lifetime. If that doesn't change, we're going to be messed up.
Just to give an example, Doc, my cousin who came here on vacation for 1 month from France to America, and took him out to dinner, and he had food and was sick for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
3 days.
I can believe it.
And he looked at it, he said, "What is this? This is disturbing." I'm like, "This is what we eat in America." He said, "You guys are dying."
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I felt disrespected. I'm like, I took you out this wonderful restaurant, and you're telling me they were dying. So this here makes sense. And why he said what he said. He literally said, you know who I'm talking about. He said, "You guys are dying. Like, how can you consume this?" I'm like, "This is what we eat in America." It's like this is disgusting. Disgusting.
So I'll give you some examples without naming the restaurants, obviously. I don't want to.
Oh boy. I just want to say real quick, just to give a quick shout out to Otterbein University.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Otterbein, for allowing us to be able to continue producing this podcast.
Yes.
We appreciate you, Otterbein.
Yeah, this is why we have Dr. Ronald here, because this is very important. This is more. It's bigger than us. This is bigger than just Otterbein, bigger than just life itself. I mean, this education is going to be changing lives, because I want somebody to listen who's fat. And I want them to decide today, you know what? Yeah, it's time that I make change. That's why Doc is here.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
So
No, forget about. They need to forget about that New Year's resolution.
Well,
a
lot of people
stop doing that.
A lot of people have been
lot
of people have been reprogrammed
I
with
know.
that mindset. New year resolution. So
But where you
I hope exactly.
Yeah,
I hope that you guys will start making better decisions.
But anyways, listen, we're not going to. So you said we're not going to talk about no restaurant, but you know
we are ready. We are ready. Please tell us.
Well, just one quick thing related to what you just said. just put in your brain, the new year for you starts today.
Yes.
The next thing,
Hallelujah.
the next thing you put in your mouth, everything from now on you put in your mouth, just think to myself,
Yep.
am I hurting myself or helping
Oh
myself?
man,
I mean,
hallelujah! Chills.
everything, every single thing, everything you drink,
Yes.
everything you eat, right? So with that in mind, You go out to a restaurant, shrimp pasta. Oh, I love shrimp pasta.
Oh, Doc, no, not my shrimp
The
pasta.
Alfredo, the Alfredo
You know
sauce.
how many calories that
I don't
bad boy?
even want to know. I don't even want to know.
2,700 calories. That's like consuming 3 packages of Oscar Mayer center cut bacon, right? And then you go. You think your kids. You got your kids. You're gonna have a kid meal, and you ordered like the curly mac and cheese.
Dog,
Right?
you coming after my kids' meal too? Oh no.
1,000 calories for that kid. That bowl represents 70% of the calories the average 6-year-old should consume in a whole day. Right? Wow. And then you go think, I love a good deep dish pizza. Right?
Oh
I did
no,
have some
come
pi-
on,
I did have
Doc.
some pizza the
All
other
right,
day.
Doc, you're pushing it now. Not my
did.
pizza now.
2,300 calories.
That's a lot.
That's 3 days worth of
That's a
fat
lot.
in that one pizza.
Yes.
And then you think, I love ribs. I love ribs. I do.
He's like,
love
I
'em.
do.
I do.
All right, just tell me, Doc. Tell me.
2,000 calories.
What?
And if you eat everything else with those ribs, 3,000 calories.
Which you will.
It goes together.
That's more than your caloric intake for the entire day.
That's
Shouldn't be,
nuts.
right? And then you think, well, I'm going to have a salad.
Oh.
And I'm not just going to get any salad. I'm going to get a Santa Fe chopped salad.
Oh,
Right?
Fancy chocolate.
1,800 calories.
what?
Yeah.
You
Doc,
think you're
a
eating
salad?
healthy. Yeah, you think you're eating healthy.
And then
So
you
you're
think,
telling me a mixed salad I was eating was okay, but not. I had to question that too
when you,
now.
when you add all that crunchy, crispy
Yes.
fried stuff.
And all the
Oh, it's so
dressing.
good though.
I know.
Man, that breaks my
Just
heart.
get better. Now, here's the good news. It used to be, the statistic was, it took 17 years for research to reach the marketplace.
Yep.
With social media and what you guys are doing right
Yeah.
here, now it's about 17 seconds,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You can make choices today. You can go to Google and type in Google healthy salad,
Yeah,
healthy
yeah.
low fat. You'll have
Yeah.
a zillion salads you can
So
pick
many.
from. They're so easy to make,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But say you go out to breakfast and you have that
Oh, not
yummy
breakfast.
biscuit
Oh,
gravy
yes.
with a large hash
Oh,
brown.
my Sunday brunch.
Yeah, that's 1,500 calories.
Oh,
That's how we're
there
brunch
goes
today.
my Sunday brunch.
And you think, I'm going to have this beautiful bottle of, orange drink.
Please, not that.
Ready for this?
Please stop it.
320 calories
What?
for that. It's got 84 sugars in it.
my God.
I want you guys to listen to this real quick. This is super important.
I stopped drinking soda in high school.
Every drink bottle you get in the grocery store,
Yeah.
you got to look how many calories per serving.
So
And then you go one more line down, how many servings are in that one bottle.
Yeah.
They hide the sugar by saying, well, this only has 12 sugars
hide the
per
sugar.
serving.
That's so sneaky.
And then you go, but
That's
there's
so
but
wrong.
there's 3 servings
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
That's 36 grams of sugar.
That's
the bottom,
so
at the bottom,
wrong.
like little
I
mini,
know,
little.
I know.
Then it says,
Wait
add
a
sugar.
minute. Pause. Wait. So you're telling me when I have that little bottle of Let's the Sunskate drink, that little orange drink that I love so much, there's a little tiny writing I'm supposed to be reading, and it tells me I am so ashamed.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, those
so
little juice
ashamed.
box things.
Yes.
You're going to create an insulin spike in your child.
Yeah.
Those juice boxes are not the healthiest things in the world.
Even the ones for the babies.
Well, you've got to look at the sugars in there.
Yeah.
The
'Cause
sugar,
they always hide the sugar.
they always hide the sugar. Remember, it's sugars per serving.
Serving.
Always have to look how many servings are in that bottle.
I'm about to be obsessed now.
Oh, it's crazy.
I'm about to spend all the extra time in the grocery store.
Let
just
me
reading
tell
my
you.
labels.
Oh, no.
Well, there's an interesting app called Yuka.
Okay.
YUCA. And I'm not
YUCA.
paid from Yuka. I'm not sponsored by Yuka. This is just an app that I found.
You personally use.
Yeah, and you can actually scan the barcode
The
of
back.
anything you're buying, and it's going to give you a rating. Is it good,
Gotcha.
bad, excellent, poor, like don't eat this, you're going to die kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's really good. So now, last time I went to, for example, Costco, I went through the area where there's nuts and chocolate nut, all this supposedly healthy food.
Yeah.
And I scanned pour, and then I found one that was excellent. Oh, cool. That's what I'm buying. So it helps inform your food choices.
Oh,
That's good to
nice.
know.
Nice.
Already downloaded.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm about
yeah.
to start using
And
that.
anyway,
And again, can you please repeat the name of the app so
It's-
then I work?
It's Yuka. U-C. I got to make sure.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
got 'em
It's spelled UCA or UCKA on the app, right? I just looked it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has a little carrot.
Yeah, so it's Y. So it's
Okay.
YUCA or YUKA.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got a little carrot as
Carrot,
well.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's a great app.
That's good to know. And we're not sponsored by them. We just want people to start using
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's a great choice. Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to that little orange.
Oh no,
orange
I
drink.
seen that.
That's like eating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double Oreo cookies.
Giselle.
Oreos.
Yeah,
I love
I'm looking
Oreos.
at you.
And
I love my
all
Oreos
right,
sometimes.
and maybe I know we're running short on time. So
No, we're good.
So I'll just go over this last one. Well, I got so
man.
many here though. But anyway, I'll just because everybody
Yeah.
loves to go to the coffee
No,
the
don't
coffee
say
shop.
it. Don't say it, Doc. No.
You know that salted caramel signature
Oh, I know
chocolate
he was gonna
latte
say
thing.
that.
I had one today.
Doc, you break my heart.
760 calories,
I know.
85
I
sugar.
know.
I am
know.
heartbroken.
I had one today.
85 sugars.
I'm so
I know.
heartbroken.
So here's what you got to just kind of plant in your head.
Yeah.
If what you're about to drink, if you can't envision that
Yeah.
flowing down a river, stream, or being uprooted from the ground, it's probably not very healthy for you.
Gotcha.
Right?
Wow.
So if you go to the coffee shop and you see this big mound of whipped cream and chocolate sauce and caramel sauce, you just may as well just shoot your liver.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
And your pancreas, right? I mean, it's just horrible for you. And so bottom line, the whole gist of all this is we just have to make better food choices.
Absolutely.
Better decisions.
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
I know we didn't get a chance to. We definitely want to have. We want you to come back, Dak. I really want to finish this because I stop at Red Lobster. Sorry, that's where I stop, and I really want to continue this because I think this is very important.
Yeah.
This is way
Happy to
important
come
than
back.
everything else I've ever done. I mean, this is like it's so important. I think. The message that you're going, this message beyond ourselves, because like you've done 20 years research and you just want people to have to how do I say it, to just stay healthy, eat healthy. I mean, you mentioned this 3 times. You've mentioned, you say mentally, spiritually, right? I heard you say that so many times. I'm like, okay, why do you keep repeating that mental, physical, and spiritual?
Right.
You know, and I don't think people get it what you mean by that, by staying healthy. It's not just a physical thing. It's also a mental thing.
Right.
And it's also spiritual, because if you're affecting your mental and your physical, what do you think you're going to feel like spiritually?
Right.
So it's very important that people understand that. And I think like this conversation, it's not over.
Absolutely.
I really want to continue this because in America, and I'm going to say it, we're very fat.
Yeah.
And we need to get it together.
Yeah.
The Europeans have figured it out. The age. Let's not talk about the Asians. I mean, I was looking at this thing on I told you about what they drink these acidic drinks to help them consume the food. So I was like, why are we not doing it? Because it cleans bacteria. I was like, this is genius.
Right.
So and again, we're not trying to attack all the 1% and corporate that makes the money. We get it, but we just want America to have a balance.
Yes.
Right, Doc? Do you think we deserve balance in America, especially with the food
absolutely.
choice and everything?
Yeah, we deserve and rightfully should have good food choices.
Yes.
Thank you.
And when somebody's profiteering off your illness, that's a big problem.
That's a huge problem.
So just 2 parting thoughts maybe is the spiritual part is important. I mean, and I'll never forget sitting in I was at a meeting once and I saw this person being cornered by a super really strong Christian person who wouldn't let that person leave that corner unless they basically surrendered their life to Christ. And he did it, and I'm watching it thinking he didn't do it.
No.
He did it just to get out from underneath the
situation,
staircase, right? And I think that people, I mean, the way you live your life, the way you treat other people, may be the only Bible that people read. It's how you live your life, right? How you treat
Goosebumps.
people. And I know I just got to goosebumps saying it. And then corresponding to that, the way that your attitude, the mental part, your reaction to things might be the only instruction your kids ever get. How are you going to respond to this situation, right? And then the third piece of that is physical. How you eat, may be the only book or research paper anybody ever reads about nutrition. They're getting their nutrition advice by watching you. So you've got to be a good steward of your own body.
Yes.
Knowing that you're mentoring people whether you like it or not, just because they're watching you.
Yeah.
And they love you and trust you, right? So anyway.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So just to finalize this, all right, I need you to come closer. I know you heard everything, the conversation. So up your volume. Go ahead. Yeah. Have a seat. I'm going to have a quick conversation with you before we close, right? So you heard what Dr. Ronald just said. This conversation today, we didn't even get a chance to celebrate him. He refused to be celebrated. He said, no, today conversation is all about America because I care about Americans. And he said, we are very obese and we need to make change. And I am more sad because I didn't get a chance to celebrate him. And I want to celebrate him. But I also appreciate him saying, pause, I want to talk to America and I want to talk to Americans and let them know, like, hey, we're getting too fat and we need to get it together. And it's not here telling you not to eat what you like or choices. No, we're just here to tell you that Americans, you need to balance your life so you can live longer. Because I am noticing too many of us are dying young. And we're asking ourselves, why am I dying? Why are my cousin dying at 30? He's so healthy. Well, we don't know what he ate, his food choices. It could have been that. I guess I'm not here to point on any fingers. I'm not here to get political. All I want, again, all we want, especially Dr. Ronald, all he wants is for America to get his ish together. That's all we're asking. It's very, very important. I need you to spend more time with your family. I need you, like Doc said, use the app. Every time you go out there, just pick a few things that are healthy. Start off with that. We're not telling you to change your entire diet in one day.
Right.
We know it's very challenging. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take baby step. But with baby step, start off with water, right? Start off with water. I mean, you heard what he said. Diet Coke. My dad who drinks a lot of Diet Coke. Now I'm like, now I get it. So again, I am so aggravated. I'm so frustrated. I don't want to use the word angry because I don't want to be angry. I am, but I'm just frustrated to have a professional, a doctor. He was given that title because he deserved it. He has done a research. This man is a PhD holder. He knows what he's talking about. But I'm more frustrated because we did not get a chance to celebrate him. That's what I'm more mad about. This should have been a celebration. This conversation should have been about you, Doc. But we didn't get a chance to do that. And we're going to do that.
Absolutely.
But first, we're going to talk to America first. We're going to cleanse America. Even if it's just one person, but conversation, it's always start by one person. Just like the Chinese say, your life begin one step or whatever, whoever say that, lifespan, whatever, one, something about your life begins on one step, or I forgot, there's a saying.
They're saying.
So having you here and just having a conversation, and then we're going to use our power to do everything that we can through social media to speak to people. Because I'll be happy if we can change 10 people's lives.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there's a saying: if you heal one person, it is as if you've helped 1,000. Mm-hmm. But if you kill one person, it's going to feel like as if you killed 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. So if we have to save 10 lives, I'm happy to save 10 lives, and knowing that at least I've saved 10,000 lives out there.
Right.
Because I don't want to be one of the people that killed one person and knowing that I killed an entire generation.
Right.
So, Dr. Ronald, we appreciate you coming in and letting us know. This is incredible.
Yes.
I never knew these things.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who thinks I'm eating healthy. And I'm like, actually, I'm not eating healthy. Because there's certain habits that I have and I thought that were okay. And I'm realizing, look at all the stuff that I'm putting in my body. Mm-hmm. And I try to be as clean and as nutritionist as I can, even having a wife who's a nutritionist. Mm-hmm. There's certain food that you were mentioning. I'm like, oh, we do this. Okay, now I need to make those changes. Mm-hmm. And we're not telling people to start today and go throw out everything in your fridge. No. Right. Just be mindful, like Doctor said. Absolutely. When you go out there grocery shopping, get the app, read.
Absolutely.
Don't just
More
grab
intentional.
everything and then you're spending about $200 and then most of
Absolutely.
the food you're not even going to eat it. You're going to throw it away.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get fat. You start blaming people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fat because of the choices
Yeah.
you made.
That's right.
Now it is time for you
Yes.
to start to change.
And the decisions that you make today will impact your life in a positive or negative way.
100%.
And like Dr. Ronald mentioned, that is all connected, your mental, your physical, and your emotional, spiritual stage, they're all connected.
Yeah.
Just the food choices that you make every day will determine how emotionally you will feel.
Yeah.
They will also affect your body in a way that it's going to impact your mood. Some of us sometimes we are so anxious and depressed and sleepy and lazy.
Maybe
and
that's why. We know
and
why.
all that
now.
can be fixed
Yeah.
just
Food.
based on the food we intake
Yes.
daily.
All these chemicals.
So if you feeling right now some type of way that is affecting you, if you're not getting the energy that you need to be able to do the things that you do daily, maybe start, changing some of the food choices that you intake daily. And like, Kai mentioned, like Dr. Ronald mentioned before, just start by taking little steps.
Right.
Okay? You don't have to change your entire diet. Maybe, if you always go to McDonald's to get your breakfast in the morning, maybe try to do it maybe twice a week.
Be
and
mindful.
then slowly cut it to once a
Yeah.
week. And then slowly cut it back again to once a month. Okay? We're not saying that you're not will be able to eat the food that you love to eat, okay? But you have to be mindful in how you're going to introduce these carbs, how you're going to introduce this sweet on your daily health routine.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So we're going to let you go, Doc, again. Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you so
can't
much.
wait to continue. We really want to continue this conversation. And we also going to celebrate you because that's what we do. We celebrate our guests.
Yes.
But first, we're going to cleanse America from its craziness and what is happening. We're not trying to get political. We're just trying to see who we can help. If we can help you, we're okay with that and we'll take it. If we can, at least we tried.
Yes.
It's better to try than not sit here with all this knowledge and not share it because it says knowledge is power. So we appreciate Dr. Ronald being able to share your knowledge with us because we also have learned quite a few things today we're going to take with us. So with that being said, we love you. We appreciate you. You are amazing. You are absolutely the best. Continue to do what you do. We appreciate you listening. Thank you, and we are out.